Robert Louis Stevenson. Treasure Island. Chapter 30. On Parole. I woke up. In fact, we all woke up. I could see even the guard move and stand up from where he had fallen against the door. A clear and strong voice called to us from the edge of the wood. "Blockhouse, ahoy!" it cried. "Here is the doctor." It was the doctor. I was glad to hear him, but my gladness was mixed with other feelings. I remembered my bad and secret behavior. I saw where it had brought me, among these people and in these dangers, and I felt ashamed to look at him. He must have got up very early, because the day had only just begun. I ran to a hole in the wall and looked out. I saw him standing, like silver before, with mist around his legs up to his knees. "You, doctor! Good morning to you, sir!" cried Silver. He was fully awake and suddenly very friendly. "Up so early, of course. And as the saying goes, the early bird gets the food. George, wake up, son, and help Dr. Livesey over the side. Everything is going well. Your patients are all fine, happy, and in good spirits." He kept talking like this. He stood on the hill with his crutch under his arm and one hand on the wall of the house. He was just like the old John in voice, manner, and face. "We have a surprise for you, too, sir," he continued. "We have a little stranger here. He, a new guest and lodger, sir. He looks strong and healthy. He slept very well, like a rich trader. He slept right next to John. We were side by side all night. By this time, Dr. Livesey had crossed the fence and was close to the cook. I could hear the change in his voice when he said, "Not Jim." "The same Jim as always," said Silver. The doctor stopped at once. He did not speak, and for a few seconds he could not move. "Well, well," he said at last. "Duty first and pleasure after, as you might say yourself, Silver. Let us check your patience." A moment later he came into the house. He gave me one serious nod and then began to work with the sick men. He did not seem afraid, even though he must have known that his life depended on a very small chance among these dangerous men. He spoke to his patients as if he were visiting a normal family in England. His manner, I think, affected the men, because they behaved as if nothing had happened. They acted as if he was still the ship's doctor, and they were still loyal sailors. "You are doing well, my friend," he said to the man with the bandaged head. "If anyone ever had a close escape, it was you. Your head must be as hard as iron. Well, George, how are you? You look very strange. Your liver is not working well. Did you take that medicine?" "Did he take the medicine, men?" "Aye, aye, sir, he took it sure enough," said Morgan. "Because, you see, since I am the doctor for mutineers, or a prison doctor, as I like to say," said Dr. Livesey in his pleasant way, "I make it a rule not to lose a man for King George, God bless him, and the gallows." The men looked at each other, but they said nothing, and accepted the sharp words. "Dick does not feel well, sir," said one. "Doesn't he?" replied the doctor. "Well, come here, Dick, and let me see your tongue." "No, I am not surprised. His tongue looks terrible. Another fever." "Ah, there," said Morgan. "That comes from spoiling Bibles." "That comes, as you call it, from being complete fools," answered the doctor, "and not having enough sense to know clean air from poison, and dry land from a bad, dangerous swamp. I think it is very likely, though it is only my opinion, that you will all suffer a lot before you get this malaria out of your bodies. You camp in a swamp? Silver, I am surprised at you. You are less of a fool than many of them, but you do not seem to understand even the basic rules of health. Well," he added after he had given them medicine, and they had taken it with almost funny humility, more like school children than guilty mutineers and pirates. That is done for today. And now I would like to talk to that boy, please. And he nodded toward me in a casual way. George Merry stood at the door, spitting after some bad-tasting medicine. But when he heard the doctor's request, he turned red and shouted, "No!" and swore. Silver hit the barrel with his hand. "Silence!" he shouted. He looked around like a lion. "Doctor," he continued in his usual voice, "I was thinking about that, because I know you like the boy. We are all very grateful for your kindness. As you see, we trust you and take your medicine like it is just grog. And I think I have found a way that will suit everyone. Hawkins, will you give me your word of honor as a young gentleman, for a young gentleman you are, even if you were born poor, your word of honor that you will not run away?" I quickly gave the promise he asked for. "Then, doctor," said Silver, "you step outside the fence, and when you are there, I will bring the boy to the inside, and I think you can talk through the fence. Good day to you, sir, and give our respects to the squire and Captain Smollett." The moment the doctor left the house, the men began to protest loudly. Silver's angry looks had been the only thing that kept them quiet. They accused him strongly of playing a double game, of trying to make a separate peace for himself, of sacrificing his partners and victims, in short, of exactly what he was doing. It seemed so clear to me that I could not understand how he would calm them. But he was much stronger than the others, and his victory the night before had given him great power over them. He called them all fools, said it was necessary for me to speak with the doctor, waved the map in front of them, and asked if they could risk breaking the agreement on the very day they were going to look for treasure. "No, by thunder!" he cried. "We will break the treaty when the time comes, and until then, I will trick that doctor, even if I have to clean his boots with brandy." Then he told them to light the fire. He walked away on his crutch, with his hand on my shoulder. He left them confused and quiet, more silenced by his fast talking than truly convinced. "Slow, lad, slow," he said. "They could turn against us in a moment if they see us hurry." So we walked slowly across the sand to where the doctor was waiting on the other side of the fence. When we were close enough to speak, Silver stopped. "You should remember this too, doctor," he said. "The boy will tell you how I saved his life and how I lost my position because of it. You can count on that. Doctor, when a man is in danger like me, playing with his last breath, you might not think it too much to give him one kind word. Please remember, it is not only my life now, it is the boy's life too. Speak kindly for me, doctor, and give me a little hope, for mercy's sake." Silver changed when he stood there with his back to his friends in the house. His face looked thin, and his voice shook. He was completely serious. "Why, John, are you afraid?" asked Dr. Livesey. "Doctor, I am no coward. No, not me, not so much," and he snapped his fingers. "If I were, I would not say it. But I will be honest. I am afraid of the gallows. You are a good and honest man. I have never seen a better man. And you will not forget the good I have done, just as you will not forget the bad, I know. And I will step aside, look here, and leave you and Jim alone. And you can remember that for me too, because it is a big thing." Then he stepped back until he was out of hearing. He sat on a tree stump and began to whistle. From time to time he turned around to watch both me and the doctor, and also his wild men as they moved between the fire, which they were lighting again, and the house, from which they brought pork and bread to make breakfast. "So, Jim," said the doctor sadly, "here you are. As you have acted, so you must accept the result, my boy. God knows I cannot fully blame you, but I will say this, whether it is kind or not. When Captain Smollett was well, you would not have left. And when he was ill and could not stop you, by George, It was very cowardly. I admit that I began to cry. "Doctor," I said, "you could be kinder to me. I have blamed myself enough. My life is already lost, and I would be dead now if Silver had not helped me. And doctor, believe me, I can die, and I probably deserve it. But what I fear is torture. If they start to torture me—" "Jim," the doctor interrupted, and his voice was very different. "Jim, I cannot allow this. Jump over and we will run away." "Doctor," I said, "I gave my word." I know, he cried. "We cannot help that now, Jim. I will take all the blame and shame on myself, my boy. But I cannot leave you here. Jump. One jump and you are out, and we will run like antelopes." "No," I replied. "You know very well you would not do this yourself, nor the squire nor the captain, and neither will I. Silver trusted me. I gave my word, and I will go back. But doctor, you did not let me finish. If they start to torture me, I might say where the ship is. I got the ship partly by luck and partly by risk. It is in North Inlet on the southern beach, just below the high water mark. At half tide it must be dry." "The ship!" cried the doctor. I quickly told him about my adventures, and he listened in silence. "There is some kind of fate in this," he said when I finished. "At every step you save our lives. And do you think we will let you lose yours? That would be a poor reward, my boy. You discovered the plan. You found Ben Gunn, the best thing you ever did or will do, even if you live to 90. Oh, by Jupiter, and speaking of Ben Gunn, this is trouble itself. Silver, he called. Silver, I will give you some advice, he continued when the cook came closer. Do not hurry too much to find that treasure. Well, sir, I do what I can, which is not much, said Silver. I can only, if you please, save my life and the boys by looking for that treasure. You can be sure of that. Well, Silver, replied the doctor, if that is so, I will go a step further. Be careful of danger when you find it. Sir, said Silver, between one man and another, that is too much and too little. What you mean, why you left the house, why you gave me that map, I do not know, do I? And still I did what you said without question and without any promise. But no, this is too much. If you will not explain clearly, just say so and I will stop. No, said the doctor thoughtfully. I have no right to say more. It is not my secret, you see, Silver, or I would tell you, I promise. But I will go as far as I can, and even a little further, because I will have trouble with the captain if I do not. First, I will give you some hope. Silver, if we both get out of this trap alive, I will do my best to save you, as long as I do not have to lie. Silver's face became bright with joy. You could not say more, sir, even if you were my mother, he cried. Well, that is my first promise, added the doctor. My second is advice. Keep the boy close to you, and when you need help, call loudly. I am going to find help for you, and that will show you I am serious. Goodbye, Jim. Dr. Livesey shook my hand through the fence, nodded to Silver, and then walked quickly into the wood.